Hi guys, it's another weekend, and I'm just finishing off my annual leave and about to head back to work. So today I'm just going to give you a quick update on where my different projects are at, and then we're going to do a quick build for a bowl I picked up. It's bigger than the last bowl I got. The other one I got was a little bit small. I'm thinking it was too small, and I'm going to convert that over to this bigger bowl. So just a quick rundown on where I'm at with the things I'm doing. The first thing is the garden. So I've been doing trying to grow the carpeting plants in my own hydroponic system, which is not quite hydroponic yet. So I'll just show you where I'm at with that. There's a little bit of growth on it, it's not too bad. So this is the system I've set up. I've got the big tubs down the bottom. They're supposed to be the reservoir for water, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pump the water up to the top, and then I'm going to let it gravity feed down back into the sump, and then I'll pump it back up again. So I've already picked up the pump that I'm going to use for this one. So this is the pump I'm going to use. Noticing the specs on it, it's probably just a little bit under spec for the height that I wanted to get up to. So that's about a 1.2 metre height pump, and I'm probably needing about a 2 metre. So I'll see how that goes, and if it works, great. If not, I'll just get the next pump up. And their plants themselves. So I'm currently trying to grow some carpeting plants. So they're actually not looking too bad. That's about a week and a half, 2 weeks, I think it is. So they're starting to show some new growth. That's the green you can see. You can see all the brown die off. So these have come from underwater to immersed. So they've gone through a development stage. These ones here as well. I've got some grass in there and some other carpeting plants. And again, I've got some green growth on those. So, and these little ones in the middle, there's a little tiny bit of growth on these ones, but most of them have died back. So I'm thinking that they're going to come in eventually, but we'll just see. And down the bottom here, again, same story. These ones here, a little bit of green growth just starting to come in on them. Same over here on the smaller ones. And then the larger leaves there. Yeah, I put them in later, so we'll see how they go. And then over here, so yeah, so again, I put these in later, but we'll see how they go. Hopefully one day I'm going to open this up and it's going to be just a tub full of green. And I've got some moss over there in the corner that I picked up out of one of my little tubs. I'm just seeing if I can propagate that. This one here, there's a guy I bought some bonsais off, and he had a grass all over his backyard. And it looked really strange. So I asked him if I could take a piece and just see if I could propagate it, and then test it to see if it would go submersed. So that's what I'm doing with that. So I'll keep an eye on that and see how it goes. The rest of these tubs are just waiting for me to build the ebb and flow system, and then we'll see how that works as well. But that's a project for another day. Just a little bit expensive, just getting all the little bits and pieces that I need. Here's one here. This is just bits and odds and ends of plants that I've had that I just threw in there just to see if they would start to grow a little bit bigger. And I'll try and grow them out from there. Starting a green water container over here, seeing how that goes. So far not so green, but I think I've got to move it into the sun. Now this one here, I picked this one up from a guy yesterday. The stand, the tank, the few bits of food and whatnot, bag of stones, big bag of stones, and some scaping, and a pump, so a filter. So I picked all that up for $75. So a bit of elbow grease, bit of love and care, and
that'll start to look pretty good. And there's those bonsais out the back there that I picked up. The 2 big ones I picked up, the rest are ones that I've already had. So they're looking nice. And over in the back there, you can see over there, I've got the IBC, I think they call those things. And that's loaded up with my driftwood, which I'm soaking. So I'm just getting all the tannins out of it and making sure it's good and soaked. And then over here, patio area. So that's the bowl I'm talking about. So I plan on making that one this afternoon. And that's going to be replacing that little one over there. So that's what I'm heading to do this arvo. This one here is the one I got off the vet nurse, or the veterinarian I think she was. And I've gone and gotten myself some commercial hardscape to put in there. That's really expensive, that stuff, like $100 for 2 pieces. That's just insanely stupid. When you think I paid that for that, and I paid $75 for that tank over there with everything else. And then this one here is the one that my friend gave me, with the patch in the back there. I did a video on that. So that one's been holding its water. And all the green you can see hanging around the top of it. This thing's called an arrowhead. And this came from the creek where I went and got all the stones, which I'm going to show you soon. Now I looked it up, and it says that it is actually a poisonous plant, but it works well in the scaping. It's poisonous to cats, dogs, humans, if ingested. So if you're putting it into a tank, as long as the leaves are out of the water, it's fine, and you don't have fish that actually ingest plants. So we'll see how that goes. That may or may not stay. But again, it's free. So I was walking down to get the stones, and I just saw that on the riverbank, and I thought, oh well, it's natural, so I'll take some. And then this one here, a guy was selling this on eBay, $15. Nice little plant mix up there. So that one's eventually going to wind up in the tank. And then these ones here, I saw this one at Bunnings yesterday. That's a Monstera, but I just like the holes that are punched in the leaves. I thought that looks really cool. This one I've had for a while. And then there's just a piece of leaf at the back there that I've had for a bit. So I think that's everything. There was this stone here too. My friend who gave me the tank that I broke, he also gave me this. Now it turns out that that is a septarian nodule, I think they called it. Effectively it's like 50 to 70 million years old. And it is a little nodule that's formed basically over time. It was like a little boulder, and then it was buried in the sediment, and over time cracks formed in it as it moved around, and those got filled up with sedimentary layer. I'm explaining that really badly, but basically then the parts that made up the stone eroded away and left all those formations you can see. But that was a brief look at what I did, and these other things are just some of the stones that I've collected over a little while. Now I've also, when I went down to the creek and picked up that arrowhead, I also picked up some stones again that I'll show you later, but I also picked up some of the local fish. So in here we've got, you probably can't see them because they're hiding underneath, but in there, in the very middle of the picture, you can see just sitting under the leaf. I don't know what sort of fish these are, but that was the thing. I wanted to put them in and have a look to see. So I'm going to set up one of my scapes, one of my tanks, to take these guys. And it's going to be a natural tank. So I'm going to use the natural stone, the natural plants, and put those guys in and see what happens. And if it works out, maybe I can go and get some more of them. And so the stones that I've got from the creek that I'm going to use are out here. So they've all been
hit with the gurney just to clean them all up. So I've got variety this time. I've got some larger ones because I've got the bigger tank. So I'm thinking to build up the bigger stones first and then gradually make them smaller to the front. So all that's from the natural creek where those fish came from, as are the 2 bits of hardscape. We had some recent rain here, so there was some timbers there that I could actually bring home this time. But I think those rocks will look really nice, and once I put them into the tank, they will look great. But that's not happening today. That's going to be a build for another day. So that's where we're heading today for what we want to do. And I'll see you back soon, and we'll do the bowl. I almost completely forgot to show you inside as well. I walked back inside and thought I completely forgot the entire inside tanks. So here's a quick rundown on those as well. So the white clouds are looking good. I've been planting out the tank at the front here. So I've gone and taken a lot of the grass that I had in the blue acara fry tank that was covered in moss and whatnot, and I've planted individual strands of that all the way across the bottom of this tank. So that's looking pretty good so far, I think. I've also added in a few other different pieces that weren't working in other tanks, and just seeing how they come up here, and they look to be doing all right. And I really like that tank. It's a smallie, but I really like it. The river tank over here, again, another one that I really like. It's working nicely. I thought I had some fish eggs in here the other day, but they turned out to be snail eggs. But these guys are doing all right. So that I picked up that light from the lass that was selling the square tank that I've got outside from the vet nurse. So that one came off that tank and went on here. Looked really nice. So yeah, so there's the scissor tails and the rosy barbs. They're pretty happy together, looking really healthy. And then around here, again, one more project sitting waiting to happen. So still not sure whether this one's going to stay here or go into one of the bedrooms. I think I may take that one into the bedroom, we'll see. Or possibly the one that I've got outside might be fitting better in the bedroom. Then our main tank over here, the community tank, always very happy with this one. Always doing really well. My better fish though is struggling, so I'm not really sure what's wrong, but we had 2 of these, and the first one died. Now this one's got a growth on the tail, and I understand that's normal, but if you look at the gill, her left hand side, so the one facing us now, when she goes up, if you can see from underneath, it's kind of flared out a bit. So there's something wrong with it. I don't know what it is. So see how it bulges out there just a little bit? So yeah, so you can probably pick that up. Just there, yeah. See it? So I'm not sure. She's swimming around okay, but I make sure that when I feed them, she gets the feed. So I'm making sure she's getting her nutrition. The other bedders are doing really well. There's Rose. She's looking really solid. And Midnight's in there somewhere. I can't see the blue one. And Glacier's hiding as well. That's the white one. So they're in there somewhere. I can't see them, but they'll be there. Probably hiding in their caves down the bottoms. There's no one in there. And no, there's no one in there either, but they're in there. And so that's the community tank. Like I said, really like that one. Now these are the blue acaras. These are the second set. There's 3 in there. One hides around the back because he's not part of the breeding group. And in there we've got a pleco and a couple of shrimp. But the acaras seem to keep short shrift on the shrimp and the pleco, so they kind of stay inside the rocks and hidden away. I guess that's just a thing. You're going to have a hard time trying to keep shrimp. So see there, she's flaring up, and she's flaring up at Yeah, there it is, the other one hiding in the rocks. You probably didn't stim there, had his head poking out. But inside these rocks are all little caves. So there's the two of them, one at the front, one at the back, and there's one hiding in the caves. So there he is, poking his head out the back. There he is. So plenty of hiding spots for them, but that's where he pretty much spends his time, hiding in there. And these are the first two breeders, and this was the Blue Acara Caves tank that I set up. There's a video for that. Oh, look, they've already started to pull up my plants. So there's one floating up the top there. But these guys will be in the cave. So that's exactly what I made it for. So there's a big cave in there. Goes in this side, comes out that side. And both of those guys are inside there. So they're enjoying that one. And that's again some of the river stones that I got from the creek. So that's what we'll be doing in that other big tank outside. And it's going to look pretty good. Much bigger version of this. And then over here, these are our Blue Acara fry. And they're doing really well. This tank was struggling with algae, and what I've done is I've reduced the lighting, reduced the feeding. So these guys get shrimp, baby shrimp, and they seem to be enjoying that. You can tell when they're fed up because their little bellies go golden round. It's like a little light turns on in their belly, and you can see all the fry in there, or all the shrimp fry. So this tank, now that the algae is under control, this is looking really good. And I moved all of the Uber Nubius from, I had the Nubius just put in here on top of the mountain, Boulder Mountain. Again, that was another video I did, you can go find that. I moved all the Anubias off there and I put it over there, so it's a Anubias forest. And I took all the grass off that knoll and I moved that into that small white cloud tank where it's doing much better. In here it was just gathering mould all over it, not mould, algae, sorry, all over it. And the swords are doing really nice in here, liking that very much. So this tank's looking like it's under control. So I run two filters in here. I've got the sponge filter for when I had the baby fry, and then I've got the bigger filter, which I turn on and off when I'm feeding. So I turn that off during the shrimp feeding, and then give them about 30 minutes and I turn it back on. So that tank's looking really good. I'm very happy with that now, happy to leave it sit. And that's the one I'm using, the, I think that was the turf sand I used in this one. So I've got the layers there, and even those striations there, you can see the dark striation right in the middle. Since I've been reducing the light and reducing the feeding, those striations have lightened up a bit too. So I think that was just some more mould down the bottom. Anyway, so they're looking pretty good. There's quite a few in there and they're looking healthy. I moved both batches of fry together here. So I took both the ones that were originally here and I moved them parents out, and then I took the fry from the other two and put them in here. And that was as simple as just siphoning them out. So I just got a bucket and I siphoned them out in a couple of goes. And I just put the water back in the tank after I'd moved the fry back into here. So yeah, so that's that tank. So I think that's everything at the moment. Oh no, Goliath. So with Goliath, I picked up very inexpensively. Somebody was selling 1200 Aqua One filter. It's in here, there it is, Aqua One Series 1250. So they were selling that, they retail upwards of $230, $240, $50, so I've seen them up to $300. But they were selling that for $150. Actually they were offering, selling it a little bit more, but I asked them $150 and they said yeah, sure. So I picked that up on one of my trips up to Mariba. So those are all the tanks, inside and out now. So I'm going to get on to building the bowl tank, fish bowl tank, and I'll see you soon. So I'm just going to add in some of the regular potting mix that I use, which is the Scott's potting mix. It's worked so far. So I'm just going to drop some of that in, straight in. I'm going to put a little tiny bit more in. So I'm just trying to make that as a mound in the middle, so it goes up sort of evenly from the sides, since you're going to see this tank from multiple sides anyway. But I'm still going to put some taller growing ones at the back there. So that being the case, I might actually build up this back area here, just so I can plant more stuff into that directly. So I'll just grab some more and add it in. So, here we go. So I think that's better. So I've got a bigger mound up the back there, so I can plant mainly into this area here and a little bit down the front here. So down the front here, I'm going to put in the probably the pearlweed, I think. So I'd like to see like a little river of pearlweed around here. So that's what I'll pop in there. So I'm happy with that layer now. I'll just top that off with some sand, and that's my standard formula. So Scott's potting mix, followed by some unicorn sand from oh, what's the name of that place called again? Clark's Rubber. I keep mixing it up with Cool Works. The Clark's Rubber is what I'm after. So, drop this in. So I go heavy up the back and then I'll push it down. There we go. I think what I'd like to do as well, I think I'd like to do a bit of a tiered shelf there. So I think I would like to make like a terrace. I think I'm kind of making this up as I go along a little bit. So I'm going to go and see if I've got some rocks that I can pop in there to terrace that up with. I'm happy with the depth at the front. That's a nice one. It's good having this selection of rocks here now too. I know you can't see me, but it's good having this selection of rocks here too now because it gives me choice when I'm making things. I can pick and choose how I want to do it. If one thing doesn't work, I can change it out for another. So I've got a few different ones there. So I've picked this little handful of stuff and I'm just going to wedge it in and see how it goes. In fact, I might bring the camera around the front so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Otherwise, there's not a lot of point to it, is there? So I'm just trying to build a terrace like across here. I think I want that one to be the centerpiece stone. Because that one's got nice striations and it's crossed here as well. So I can kind of lay that in like that and it looks like it was meant to be there. So I'm thinking like that. It kind of doesn't really fit, does it? Over a little bit. It's kind of hard doing this through a might have those come out like that. See if I've got a few more rocks because that's not quite working for me. Ooh, that'd be nice. Oh yeah, that'd be better. In fact, that'd be perfect almost. Just looking for some over here again, guys. I've taken the camera away again, I'm sorry. Let's try this. So I've got 3 bigger stones, but they've got the black and the white marks in them. So I'm thinking they could sit in there like that. Let's see. Still like that one, but this is a really nice one. It's kind of nice. Then I can have it like a mountain around the side here. So it can be like running up the hill, running up into the mountain. And just put them there so they've got something to fall back on. That fits nicely. I actually like that. And then this one around here just to hold it all up. Yeah, I actually like that. That could be down there. So that's kind of like it starts to lower down here and it works its way up and around and it gets higher. So it's like a spiral corkscrewing up. So I'm actually liking that. Yeah, I'm actually liking that a lot. So have a closer look at that one. I'll just pull you off the mount here for a sec. So what we got happening is it's nice and low around this side, and then as we come around it spirals up and gains more height until it's up at the back there. So I can fill this back area here with all the stem plants and they'll come up through here, and then I can go with the carpeting plants down around the hill. So yeah, I actually like that. So I think we've settled on our scape there, and I like those black rocks with the striations through them, through the quartz vein running through that. So let's wet that down a bit, and I'm probably going to put some scattered rocks around the front here as well, so it's not just the sand, but I might put the plants in first and then put the rocks in amongst the plants. That way the rocks can help hold the plants down as well. So, be back in a sec. So that's what we got so far. Might have been a bit hard to see with the glare on the bowl, but in essence we've got the grass running around, running into the pearlweed, and then through to the stems up at the back here. So I'm just going to drop a little bit more sand on top of that now that I've bedded them all down, and then we'll put some water in just to keep them wet. Okay, so I think that's going to look fairly nice once it comes in. And then I might add some more large plants at the back later on. And I've got that little clump of grass in there just to prevent the sand from running down if we can. But it's probably not going to work that well, so I might have to just pop some sort of a padding in there to stop it from running down. All right, so let's add some water. So there's the finished product. So I'm liking it. And as with a bowl, it's always viewed from multiple directions. So just sitting off to the side of it, you've got that slope up the back. So the grass runs into pearlweed, into long stems, and nice view. And then sitting directly opposite it, you can see the rock face with the track winding up around the side. And then over this side, this is not the most oftenly viewed side, okay, but you've got behind the main rock face, and I know there's reflection there, so it's difficult to see it, but you've got the different heights from the low level up to the high. In hindsight, I could have made this one here more flat, so it came in really flat and then went straight up, but I've kind of given that a slope upwards. There we go. So I'm pretty happy with all of that, how it's worked out. And I can probably squeeze something in between those rocks at a later stage, because there is a bit of a spot in there for it. And then from the top, so we'll let that settle in, see how the plants establish, repot the ones that pop up as they inevitably do, and yeah, that's it. So that's the scape for this weekend. Nice and simple, getting ready for Christmas, so I didn't have a lot of time left. And then we've got the other one over there, and this one here, and this one around here behind me. We've still got to do these two bullet noses as well, but currently they're just holding my plants. And then over there we've got the square one. So those guys are going to go over to this bigger bowl soon, but I'm going to let it establish first. So they've been enjoying it in there. Similar sort of design here. We've got the high plants at the back, and then we've got the small pearlweed at the front, and some rocks, but we didn't do a mountain. This time we just did a low level plain. Rightio. Okay, so check you out guys, see you next week.